ready for takeoff. What business leaders in Saskatchewan's two largest cities want to take flight. The Huskies starting quarterback faces a fight off the field, how his teammates are rallying their support. And a special celebration at the U of S, why one convocating student is especially excited to get into the classroom.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. Business leaders in Saskatchewan's two largest cities are working to bring back regular flights between Saskatoon and Regina. While the idea has been grounded for the last few years, businesses are hoping an airline can help meet the renewed demand to get back in the sky. Keenan Sorokon reports.
Saskatchewan businesses are ready for takeoff. A joint survey from the Regina and Saskatoon Chamber of Commerce show a strong desire to link the two cities, with 94% of respondents saying they would use the service.
I think overall it presents a picture of a very eager and interested business traveling community that would like to see some sort of return to service.
We've got the two largest economic hubs between Regina and Saskatoon, and so what a way to connect those people from a business standpoint.
Of the 230 businesses responding to the survey, 67% said they would purchase 1 to 2 tickets per month, with 17% needing 3 to 4 tickets a month, and 76% saying $500 would be a reasonable fare. But the feasibility of going wheels up is in the hands of the airlines, and the airports are happy to have them.
They know we're open for business. In fact, we'll even provide some short-term incentives to help the carrier reduce their cost of doing business if they want to try the route.
A Saskatoon-Regina flight operating away from the main terminals on a smaller aircraft with quick boarding and security protocols was abandoned as COVID-19 grounded flights across the world in 2020. But if that same level of speed and customer service was brought back, there are willing customers.
That's what we've been committed to from those airports, and we're confident that they can get a deal done.
With any business decision, there is risk, but ABIG says that risk can be mitigated when looking at the survey results.
Because you know that there's a ready and willing set of people who are going to take you up on the service and are going to use it religiously.
The Saskatoon Airport declined an interview, but says it welcomes the return of a Saskatoon-Regina route, knowing the service was popular, especially in the winter months. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
As the Huskies prepare to host the Mitchell Bowl on Saturday, the football community is rallying its support for a player who is unable to be on the field following a difficult diagnosis. Hallie Mandrick has the story.
Ahead of their appearance in the Mitchell Bowl this weekend, the University of Saskatchewan Huskies are sending well wishes and love to a teammate who recently received a cancer diagnosis. In a release from the university, it was shared that the football team's starting quarterback, Anton Amandrud, has been diagnosed with lymphoma.
He's not doing it alone. He's got a whole bunch of brothers here to help and support and to love him. There's been so many guys up to see him and do all that kind of stuff. It's heartbreaking. Saw him Monday, saw him yesterday morning as well. The kid's a fighter.
Amandrud has been having an MVP season and was leading the Canada West Conference in passing yards before stepping away Week 5. He currently is 3rd in Huskies football history in completion and 6th in career passing yards. Since Amandrud stepped away, the Huskies have been led by Jake Farrell, who helped guide them to a Hardy Cup victory last week. And while the Huskies starting quarterback may not be physically on the field for the Mitchell Bowl on Saturday afternoon against the Queen's Golden Gales, his teammates say he'll still be in their heads and hearts.
We know that Anton, he wants us to go there and play our hearts out, so a big part of it is just doing it for him, and respecting the game how it is, playing within the circumstances that we find ourselves. It's going to be hard. It's going to suck, but that's the reality right now, and yeah, we're gonna play for him.
The U of S says Amandrud and his family are asking for privacy as he starts treatment, but anyone who wants to send a note of encouragement can do so by emailing husky.football@usask.ca. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Saskatchewan's police watchdog is investigating after a 35-year-old man died in the Saskatoon Police Service Detention Unit yesterday morning. Police say the man went into medical distress at about 9:30 shortly after he was arrested following an assault on a 5-year-old girl and a 40-year-old woman in the 300 block of Avenue Q South. The Serious Incident Response Team has been notified and is now leading the investigation into the man's death. Police say search will release more information as the investigation continues. A man accused in the shooting death of a Weyburn woman is facing an upgraded charge tonight. Chris Fallman was originally charged with manslaughter in the death of Tanya Myers. He is now accused of second-degree murder. Myers was fatally shot on a highway near Weyburn in mid-September. The charge against Fallman was upgraded during a court appearance today. He is also facing other firearms-related offenses. A Saskatoon woman is facing child exploitation charges following an investigation by police. Investigators with the Saskatchewan Child Exploitation Unit executed a search warrant last month at a Saskatoon home. Electronic devices were seized and examined. As a result, 38-year-old Natasha Brittany Albert is charged with 2 counts of possession of child sexual abuse and exploitation, as well as accessing and making it available. She appeared in court and was released on conditions. She is expected to be back in court December 2nd. The provincial government says it will work with the community of Richound to clean up a property that had been occupied by a fringe conspiracy group. In September, 16 people were arrested in connection with an ongoing investigation. The group had occupied a former school building which did not have sewer service. Some town residents came to the legislature today with concerns about cleanup costs. The government suggested that it may be able to help.
Ultimately, what I'm saying is it should be the owner of the property that is paying. If there's, some bridge dollars that are needed, I think the minister had indicated that we can, forward some municipal revenue sharing. We can work with the community to make this work, because I would agree that the community is unnecessarily, and due to no fault of their own, been through more in the last couple of years than any community needs to be.
Richound residents estimate that the community spent $75,000 on legal and other costs in dealing with the situation. The province is removing some barriers on name changes, making it easier for people to register a birth, a marriage, or request a legal name change. Changes include allowing more than 2 surnames to be registered, permitting single names or mononyms if the name holds cultural or religious significance, and more. The legislation also removes the requirement to provide proof a spouse is aware of a name change to protect privacy and personal safety. It also lays the foundation for upcoming changes, expanding the list of offenses that prevent people convicted of serious crimes from changing their names. The Saskatchewan Health Authority is reminding people it has rolled out a new process to provide daily updates for emergency service disruptions. Launched on Monday, the process is designed to provide patients, families, and communities with accurate information about emergency room availability. All emergency services, regardless of length, are now being publicly posted on the SHA's website with updates daily at 4 p.m., 7 days a week. The Premier is back in Saskatchewan after a brief trip to Ontario to meet with India's delegation at a G7 foreign ministers meeting. Scott Moe met with India's Minister of External Affairs and others to talk over possible steps toward removing tariffs on yellow peas, along with other trade opportunities on potash, uranium, and agri-food products. Last year, Saskatchewan exported $1.5 billion in goods to India, top commodities including lentils, peas, and potash. The federal government has made a commitment to prevent and reduce veteran homelessness across the country. The Minister of Veterans Affairs, Jill McKnight, was at the Royal Canadian Legion in Regina yesterday to announce the plan, partnering with 10 organizations across Canada, putting up over $22.5 million. The funding comes through the Veteran Homelessness Program, which supports 34 projects across Canada.
We know that there are some who face unique challenges, service-related disabilities, and mental health conditions such as post-traumatic stress disorder and the effects of traumatic brain injury, which can make it harder to find and maintain stable housing and employment. That's why community-led, tailored solutions like this are so important.
As of October, the federal government estimates there are around 1,800 veterans experiencing homelessness across the country. Jeff, your midweek forecast is looking pretty good.
Looking pretty good. Today was a warm day. Again, we continue to have warmer than seasonal temperatures thanks to a big push of warm Pacific air making its way into Saskatchewan across the prairies. And look at all this clear space. Yeah, great news for those people who want to go out tonight and take a look at the Northern Lights. Things are looking very promising for stargazing, Northern Lights gazing, and actually just getting outside because it's not going to be too cold. So we'll talk about all of that later on.
About 1,000 graduates from the University of Saskatchewan walked the stage today for fall convocation. Among them, one graduate stood out, proving that learning really is a lifelong journey. Carla Shinkrick has her story.
This is Louise Fraser, receiving her degree from the University of Saskatchewan's College of Education. You can hear the extra cheers just for her, because Louise has a few more years of experience than most of her fellow grads. She's 87 years old. But age didn't stop her from walking the stage and earning her education diploma with distinction.
It's amazing. I'm relieved that it's done.
She's from the Mistawasis Neheyawak First Nation, and her reason for going back to school all these years later is deeply personal.
My goal is to pass the language on and keep speaking and passing it on.
For this grad, her degree is about healing and preserving her culture.
I lost my language when I was in residential school. We're forbidden to speak your language.
It's not her first time in the classroom. Fraser already holds several diplomas and a master's degree in social work. And she's one of about 1,000 students celebrating today, including grads from agriculture, dentistry, engineering, and these from nursing.
Amazing. It's been such a long journey, tough, sleepless nights, but I'm so excited that it's finally done and ready to start my career.
It was hardship, teamwork. Couldn't do it without my family, my girlfriend, my friends.
As for Fraser, she's not done yet. She hopes to be teaching Cree very soon.
So I'm still waiting for my teaching certificate. I hope I get it next week so I can get into the classroom before Christmas.
And when she does, it will be a Christmas gift for the next generation, sharing a language and legacy of learning. Carla Shinkrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
High school students from northern Saskatchewan were on the hot seat today. Jasmine Pelche now on their business pitches and the prizes they received for their ideas.
4 Prince Albert High School students walked out with first place prizes for their team after attending a business case competition for their entrepreneurship class.
None of us, I mean, speak for all of us, but I don't think we walked in here thinking we were going to get first place, so it was pretty cool.
The sports-themed business competition involved presenting business ideas for the Saskatchewan Rush lacrosse organization.
I'm in sports myself, and I watch a lot of sports, so I just kind of took ideas of what other sports teams did and what they didn't have, and just kind of threw that out there.
The winners received tuition credits and box seats at a Saskatchewan Rush game, part of $32,000 worth of prizes awarded at the Prince Albert Saskatchewan Polytechnic Case Competition.
I have all the presentations on a flash drive, and I'm going to take them back to my team, and there's definitely some ideas that I think we will implement in some way, shape, or form, both in the short and long term.
The competition hosted high school students from across North Saskatchewan. This was the Prince Albert campus's first year hosting the competition. Organizers say that Sask Polytech wanted to bring the opportunity to northern students.
For us in the north here in Prince Albert, domestic recruitment includes a lot of communities that aren't local, right? So we're trying to recruit from, communities that are 400 kilometers to the north.
The Moose Jaw campus hosted an identical competition on the same day for high school students in South Saskatchewan. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Riders fans are counting down the hours to the Grey Cup that will see their team compete for the first time in a decade in the Grey Cup. Donovan Mace has more.
It's been a long 12 years since the Green and White last played a snap in a Grey Cup game. The it ended with the Riders lifting the trophy.
It's so much support in the province right now.
Now, in the years since, Saskatchewan has had their chances at returning to the game, only to experience heartbreak time and time again.
It just feels like this time is different, and I can feel like the fans believe it. You know, last game was sold out. We had multiple sold out games this year. You know, so it's just like we're turning that page.
And after dozens of fans sent them off Monday, the team is feeling the boost from a province away.
A lot of teams, you know, they'll say, like, my high school, for instance, like Spartan Nation. It's like, no, we're Spartan City, Spartan County. Like, it is truly Rider Nation. There's fans everywhere.
The fans are amazing. We know we have passionate fans. Like, you can't even, you know, go to Walmart or simple stuff without, you know, getting called out, signing a few things, taking pictures. So it's been crazy this year.
And the hope to give Rider Nation the ring they deserve.
It's a province that appreciates what we've done this year, and I hope we can give what they deserve and bring a cup home to them.
Those moments are kind of just like stuff that kind of stick with you, and the send-off of all the fans that kind of came out just kind of watch us get on the bus just kind of tells you how important it is.
Now, each of the last two instances, Saskatchewan went more than a decade without appearing in a Grey Cup. The Riders have gone on to win, doing so breaking a 13-year drought in 1989 and a 10-year absence in 2007. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
And a reminder, nominations are open for the Saskatoon Citizen of the Year Award presented by CTV. The Citizen of the Year Award is given each year to an individual who exemplifies excellence in the community and is making a difference. To find out how to nominate that special someone, guides are available here at CTV Saskatoon or on our website. The deadline to submit your nomination is Friday, December 5th, and we will announce this year's recipient on December 31st. Still to come, what new Epstein emails reveal about the U.S. president. Also a sneak peek at the major projects planned for Canada. You're watching CTV News Live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us tonight. We won't hear officially until tomorrow, but CTV News already has a sense of what the Prime Minister will unveil in the second phase of new nation-building projects. CTV's Abigail Beeman has our story tonight.
Silism's LNG is charting a new course for a better future.
A promotional video explains the Silism's mobile LNG facility, one of the major projects expected to be added to the list by the Prime Minister in Prince Rupert Thursday.
And has North America's shortest marine route to growing Asian markets.
In addition to Silism's in BC, CTV News has learned the Prime Minister is expected to announce a hydroelectric development project in Iqaluit, the Sisson Mine project in New Brunswick, and the Crawford Nickel Mine project in Northern Ontario.
50% of global nickel comes from Indonesia. The Chinese own 75% of those mines. We have to disrupt their stranglehold of the supply chain.
Mark Carney has faced criticism for picking projects already in various stages of development.
There's not a single project that he has launched that was not already in the making or approved before he took office.
In 2017, Dominic LeBlanc, still a minister now, said construction on the Sisson mine should start the next year.
I think that North America and Canada benefit strategically.
That mine has faced more than a decade of environmental approvals and delays. The defense minister today asked about the U.S.'s nearly $21 million contribution to it.
Our Defense Department is cooperating with our Department of Natural Resources in order to help, first of all, identify the extent of critical minerals in Canada.
These types of developments can carry dire and very expensive long-term liabilities. Short-term needs are very real. In the Canadian economy, long-term thinking also is needed.
As for the status of an east-west pipeline pushed by Alberta, no word that it will be on tomorrow's list. Danielle Smith has said she's in daily negotiations with Ottawa, hopeful that a memorandum of understanding will be ready by Sunday's Grey Cup or shortly after. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
The White House is lashing out after Democrats released emails today from deceased convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Damning emails mention Donald Trump multiple times, alleging he knew of Epstein's criminal activities. With more, here is Joy Malbin in Washington.
The private emails are straight from convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein discussing his relationship with Donald Trump. In 2011, 3 years after Epstein pleaded guilty to sex crimes involving a minor in Florida, he wrote to his now convicted partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, "I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He was never once mentioned, police chief, etc." Maxwell responded, "I've been thinking about that." That victim, Republicans say, was Virginia Giuffre, who said she never witnessed wrongdoing by Trump. In her memoir, she described being recruited from Trump's Mar-a-Lago club by Ghislaine Maxwell and trafficked to rich and powerful men, including the former Prince Andrew. In 2019, while President Trump was running for re-election, Epstein wrote author Michael Wolff, taking issue with Trump's claim that he kicked Epstein out of his club, alleging Trump knew about Epstein's illegal behavior. Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Maxwell, who's reportedly applying for clemency, told the president's lawyer in July she never saw Trump at Epstein's home.
I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way.
The White House accuses Democrats of trying to smear the president by releasing selective emails.
It just shows how this is truly a manufactured hoax by the Democrat Party.
The Trump administration has formally closed the Epstein case, but Democrats hope releasing these emails can force a vote in the Republican-controlled House and get all of the files released. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
Hi, I'm Morris Smith for the Ukrainian Catholic Foundation. We will be hosting a fundraising dinner on Saturday, November the 22nd at the Holy Family Cathedral Parish Hall. Dinner is catered by Touch of Ukraine, and entertainment will be provided by the Johnner Brothers along with the Johnner Boys. For tickets, please phone 306-653-0138 or at www.ucfsask.org. So, Jeff, what's the weather going to be like?
Well, Morris, that's a ways away, but we'll give it the old college try here. We'll take a look at Saturday, November 22nd, and at the moment, right now, we're looking at partly cloudy skies and -3 degrees. Now, ooh, cool. Well, actually, by the time we get to the 22nd of November, -3 is 1 degree above seasonal. So things are looking not too bad at all. And once again, you can get your tickets by going to ucfsask.org. All right, let's take a look at our almanac for today. And today's temperature, or our current temperature, is -1 degree, 2 right now in Prince Albert and the Battleford. And as you can see, not particularly windy in all 3 locations. Now it's time for the almanac. Today's daytime high in Saskatoon, 7 degrees. 0 is typical for this time of year. 17 degrees in, like Prince would say, I'm going to party like it's 1999. Anyhow, -29. I don't know any songs about 1909, but that's when the record cold temperature was set. The sun came up at 8:22. 5:19 is when the sun went down, and our cameraman is shaking his head.
Coming up, Saskatchewan pays tribute to those who have served our country. We take you to Remembrance Day services in the province.
Expanding trade in Saskatchewan. Thursday on Your Morning, trade representatives are overseas right now trying to expand our network, but is it working? We'll find out.
Okay, let's take a look and see what's going on through the live lens of Skycam. It's a lovely shot of the twinkling city. You can start to see a little bit of, there's still a little bit of light out there. Of course, we're expecting a lot less cloud cover and some pretty good conditions to look for looking at the northern lights tonight. So fingers crossed on that. Let's take a look at our satellite and radar shot here. And really a lot of clear skies across many of the prairie provinces, a big high pressure ridge that's in place. What they're dealing with on the west coast, including California, where it could create some real problems with mudslides. has a lot of rain moving up the west coast, and it's going to be hitting British Columbia, certainly on the island and into the lower mainland and the north coast there. But that system is going to be troublesome for the west coast right across North America. -1 for Saskatoon right now, 2 in Prince Albert and the Battleford, as you can see, not particularly windy. It is Maple Creek for the second day in a row is the provincial hotspot. Yesterday at 19, but still pretty warm at 13 today. Val-Marie, the cold spot at -10. Around the province we go for our current condition roundup, temperature roundup. 0 degrees in Lloydminster, 1 in Swift Current, 2 in Yorkton and Regina, 4 in Estevan. Into central parts of the province, temperatures ranging from -2 degrees in Rosetown and Watrous up to 3, so just a 5-degree range there. That 3 is in Hudson Bay, 1 degree in Meadow Lake, -1 in Kindersley. Up north, temperatures do drop off, but not big time. -7 in Key Lake, where it's -4 in Stony Rapids and Collins Bay, -1 in Buffalo Narrows. But on the plus side for La Ronge and Sandy Bay Island Falls, down south, 5 degrees in Maple Creek and East End. We do have some minus temperatures, though. -1 in Elbow, -2 in Indian Head. A lot of locations in and around that 1 or 2 degree mark. Now on to the futurecast. As you can see, tomorrow morning, we can see that snow in northern Alberta, and by the the latter part of the morning and into the afternoon, it moves into Saskatchewan. So we do anticipate some flurries in northern Saskatchewan as we roll into Thursday. Cloudy skies in La Ronge, 2 degrees, 2 as well in Buffalo Narrows, expecting some flurries in -4 in Stony Rapids, flurries in -3 in Key Lake, 3 degrees in Meadow Lake and Spiritwood. But look at this, 10 degrees warmer tomorrow for Kindersley, 13 and 12 in Rosetown, very warm there. But 12 degrees in Outlook, but 17 in Maple Creek, Leader and Swift Current. Leader and Swift Current expecting wind gusts up around 50 kilometers an hour, sustained winds at 30 clicks. Mainly cloudy skies for Yorkton, Regina, and Moose Jaw. Mainly sunny skies in Estevan. Estevan, 11, ditto that for Regina. 14 for Moose Jaw, 6 in Yorkton, and temperatures of 6 degrees as well in Humboldt. 8 in Watrous, and both Melfort and Hudson Bay topping out at 4 degrees on Thursday. For the Battlefords, dropping down to -6 tonight, 6 on the plus side tomorrow. And then we've got ourselves 3 degrees on Friday, 0 on Saturday, bouncing back to 1 on Sunday and Monday, -2 on Tuesday, and close to that on Wednesday. For Prince Albert and area, -7 degrees overnight. Tomorrow's high, 3 degrees with cloudy skies. Then on Friday, 2 degrees, -2 for Saturday and Sunday, 0 on Monday with a chance of flurries. Then back to -2 on Tuesday and Wednesday. And Saskatoon, -6 degrees overnight with clear skies. And then tomorrow, we've got ourselves 8 degrees with mainly cloudy conditions. Winds out of the south at 20, so a warm southerly breeze. 5 on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, not bad. Basically around 2 degrees, and then 3 to start the work week, 0 on Tuesday and 1 on Wednesday.
Bonnie, there's a package for you.
A popular animated series is back, and we're getting a sneak peek. This is the first teaser trailer for Toy Story 5. The main toys are back and aghast at the new toy that is joining the cast. This installment of the series is about a girl named Bonnie who becomes enamored with her new favorite toy, a tablet called Little Pad. Toy Story 5 is due in theaters June 19th. Speaking of sequels, The Devil Wears Prada 2 is on the way. And today we're getting our first look at the movie, arriving nearly 20 years after the iconic original. And for those scoring at home, Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci are all back. The Devil Wears Prada 2 is set to hit theaters on May 1st. A singer with a big voice is hitting the big screen. Adele will make her acting debut in the upcoming film Cry to Heaven. It's an adaptation of Anne Rice's 1982 novel. Pre-production is already underway in Rome and London, and the movie is expected to be released next fall in 2024. The Grammy winner said she was ready to take a break from music, wanting to do other creative things. Well, there you go.
A little easier on the voice, too, I think. All right, time for Pick of the Day. What do you have?
Well, we've got a triplicate here. Of course, we already showed you so many of the images the viewers sent us about the Northern Lights, but these ones harken back to yesterday. This one comes to us from Holly, and she says she's from Strongfield, and says, "This is the pride of our small village. I just want to share this image on Remembrance Day, lest we forget." And Holly also included a backgrounder on Fred Clark, the artist behind this monument. So if you'd like to learn more about Fred, you can visit the Strongfield website. That is a beautiful image there. So thank you, Holly, for sharing that. Next one comes to us from Nicole. "I am neither a professional artist nor a botanist, but I took a crack at some poppies." Well, Nicole, you certainly succeeded. That is a lovely watercolor, and thank you for sharing that with us today. And finally, pretty straightforward, Gord Strum sends this in. He says, "The Weir in Saskatoon." And yeah, that's a great shot of the sun glinting off the weir there and the water churning about. So thank you for sharing those images. And if you would like to share an image, you can send it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca. Please put Pick of the Day in the subject line, or you can scan the QR code and get those pictures to us.
Still to come on CTV News, remembering those who have served and sacrificed, how Saskatchewan paid its respect. Saskatchewan's largest Remembrance Day ceremony was hosted at Sasktel Centre yesterday. Hallie Mandrick was there.
Nearly 5,000 people filled the seats of Sasktel Centre on the morning of November 11th to acknowledge the service of brave Canadians.
All my life as I was growing up, Remembrance Day was about 11 o'clock. Then I became a chaplain for the military, and I realized it's way, way bigger than that.
Ivan Nahachowski says Remembrance Day comes with a lot of emotions, which extend far beyond this particular service.
Those who are wounded and can't be here for whatever reasons, they can't be in public. The ones who are mourning their loved ones who have died, that's real. There are people who this isn't just like a civic holiday, a national event. This is very personal.
The Nahachowski family is one of many that has several ties to the Canadian Armed Forces. Ivan's wife, Deborah Nahachowski, works with young cadet members, and she emphasized the importance of teaching the next generation about the significance of Remembrance Day.
The reason we have our freedom and we have democracy and all of that is because of these people who went before us. And by being in the cadet program, we do talk about that, and they do get some of that knowledge.
Both Ivan and Deborah Nahachowski shared that the sight of a large audience on Tuesday was very meaningful.
There's a lot of other things people could be doing today, and they're realizing that they have a day off, the significance of it. They show it by showing up here, that they realize what the purpose of Remembrance Day is.
Adding hope that those in attendance acknowledge the greater meaning of Remembrance Day.
I hope they feel grateful that Canada is a free country and that we can be who we are, that we're not being bombed or shot at. I hope the major feeling is gratitude.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
More than 100 people gathered at the Saskatoon Cenotaph in Civic Square to mark Remembrance Day and honor those who have served and are serving Canada in the armed forces. The ceremony featured the playing of the last posts, which led into 2 minutes of silence. That silence was broken by the clock on the cenotaph, striking 11 o'clock. This commemorates the exact time an agreement to end the fighting in the First World War came about on the 11th of November, 1918. Wreaths were laid at the base of the cenotaph by military members, followed by poppy laying by the general public.
Our nation's history obviously has some very dark moments and some very serious and ugly moments that it's important to remember the heroism that our nation's best showed in those moments of trial and of danger.
The cenotaph was built in 1929 as a memorial to those from the area who died in the First World War. The clock initially stood on 21st Street and was moved to its current location at Civic Square in 1957. Roughly 200 people gathered at the memorial gates in front of the University of Saskatchewan for a Remembrance Day ceremony built and dedicated in honor of the 69 students, staff, and faculty who were killed serving in the First World War. Crowds have been gathering there since the gates were unveiled in 1928. The university has a steep history linked to military service. In the 1917-1918 school year, the College of Engineering had to close its doors because there were no students left to take classes or faculty to teach them. In Prince Albert, wreaths were laid at the Memorial Square cenotaph as well as at Court of King's Bench, where the flags were also lowered. There was also a ceremony at the Armory. When we come back, what's ahead for the riders? And later, the light show that lit up the night sky.
All right, welcome back. Time to take a look at our rural forecast. And as you can see, temperatures in many respects are way above seasonal, but some places just above seasonal. But look at that, 13 for Kindersley, 12 for Outlook, still quite warm in Watchers, 8 degrees, 3 in Meadow Lake and Lloydminster, 4 for Hudson Bay on Thursday, 8 in Wynyard. And let's take a look down south. And down south, yes, temperatures really jump up. 17 for Leader and Maple Creek, 16 degrees expected for highs in Assiniboia, Rockland, and Coronach, 14 in East End. Now, some places will be windy, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Some locations could see wind gusts up to 50 kilometers an hour, so breezy. And even if the single digits like Kenora, 6 degrees, 9 in Broadview, 8 in Carlisle, that's still above seasonal. 12 degrees tomorrow for Bethune with a high of 12 degrees, winds out of the south 20. On December 7th, Bethune is having a craft sale as well as a Twinkle Tour. So some things coming up in Bethune in early December. And Bethune is one of those places where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
Welcome to another edition of X's and O's with Wes Cates, although this is a special one. It's the Grey Cup edition with the Riders facing off against the Alouettes in Winnipeg. And Wes, unfortunately, because it's the Alouettes, a lot can be brought back this week. That includes 2010 and 2009. Right. So what can you tell us about those experiences?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was. I was thinking, Montreal. But you know what I was thinking, Lee? I was like, maybe the football guys have a little payback for the Riders, right? Because, I mean, we played great in 09, did give it away there in the last 7 minutes, didn't win that one, and then kind of, it was almost like the same script in 2010, kind of the way the game was back and forth, but Montreal found a way to pull it out. So I think, with that considered, and, as long as everybody's on the up and up and, saying their Hail Marys, maybe the Riders will get it this time. But it's a good matchup, and it's kind of turned into one of those matchups that I think people across the league kind of remember and like to see. So, it's a good way to finish off the season.
Davis Alexander is going to be a lot of the talk because it looked like he tweaked his hamstring in the Eastern final. He never played the Riders this year. He was injured both times. The year before, though, he beat them twice when he came in Montreal, and in Saskatchewan he started and did well. Didn't really beat him leg-wise, but he avoided the pressure with his legs, and he did score a touchdown. So what is the key, do you think, to stopping Davis Alexander in this one? Yeah,
Davis is a heck of a competitor. He's shown that he's going to be a top quarterback in this league as long as he can stay healthy every time he steps on the field. He's very hard to beat, or he's pretty much unbeatable, right? He hasn't been beat. So, like that he's a special talent, but this Riders D is a special defense. And I think that just continuing to get pressure like they did with Nathan Rourke. Rourke had his good and bad moments in that Western final. So I think just continuing to get pressure, throw some linebacker blitzes at him, maybe switch up the secondary coverage, go a little man at times to see if you can kind of throw him off, maybe give him a look that he's not expecting, maybe surprise him that way. But I think that hamstring, unless it's like just a little bit of a slight strain or something, it's probably going to affect him. And I don't think he's going to be as mobile this week. But if it was just something where you kind of tweak it a little bit and he's got a few days and he's back to full health, I'm kind of expecting it to be a little bit more of that than an actual pull, or it might be tough for him to get out there and move around at all. So, this is what what you want, though. It's a competitive game. You want to play against the best, and you want to beat the best. So I think the Riders are up for that challenge, and I would take the Riders QB over Davis Alexander right now. I'll take Trevor myself, so, yeah.
So what about Trevor? What does he have to face with his Montreal defense? It's extremely good. They were the best against the pass as far as yards per game in a regular season, about middle of the pack with the run game, and the run game is what really did well for the Riders in their victory in Montreal. So we saw what Ouellette did against the BC Lions. Is he going to be the key today or this week?
I think so. I think the one thing I didn't like was they were a little too conservative in the first half of that Western final. I would like to see them maybe try some chunk plays, try some shots down the field, maybe get it in Trevor's hands a little more often, and then, you know, just be a little more balanced with it, because to come out of the first half with 4 points, we're lucky to get a win in that scenario. If you ask most football experts, if a team only has 4 points at halftime, would they have won that game? They'd probably say no. So I think it's a big part of just, you know, getting Trevor comfortable, getting the receivers the ball so they can get into the game, and maybe that'll extend their, you know, get them more into it, get them blocking downfield, and maybe break a big run for AJ. So, and the O-line's going to play well, I believe. So I think just, yeah, just a balanced attack should do it.
And they did a good job against the Lions, the O-line. Who you got? Riders?
You got to take the Riders. Yeah, I mean, they've done everything to be the top dogs. You know, Montreal, obviously getting Davis back is big, but the Riders have the most complete team in the CFL this year.
Well, the Riders, or at least the Alouettes, have not lost a game that Davis Alexander has started, but the Grey Cup would be an excellent time to stop that streak, and it would bring the Riders a Grey Cup home. We will analyze the Grey Cup game on another edition of X's and O's.
Canadians are still shunning the U.S. Travel across the border is dramatically down. Marilla Fernandez explains.
30% fewer Canadians made the drive across the border last month compared to October of 2024. It is the 10th straight month of lower border traffic. Canadians started turning away from those car trips a month after the U.S. president was elected. The number of Canadians flying to the U.S. also dropped last month by 24%. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up a fraction to 71.43. West Texas Intermediate crude is down over $2.50 to 58.49. Western Canadian Select is up almost $1 to 49.25. And the TSX gained 418 points for a new record close of 30,827. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Turning to local gas prices now, the average price in Saskatoon, just over $1.26 a litre. The lowest price in town, $1.69. On Saskatchewan markets, Cameco finished the day at $1.2968, and Nutrien was up $1.07. Coming up, who just bagged a big world record? Then a look at the night sky over Saskatchewan.
Select Hair Service is brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
Get comfortable and settle in with these top shows all right here tonight on CTV. Well, a new world record was set in Australia today by hundreds of bagpipers. 374 pipers broke the record when they all played AC/DC's rock and roll classic, It's a Long Way to the Top. Thousands of people crammed the square in Melbourne for the attempt. The Australian Book of Records confirmed this BD record set by 333 pipers in Bulgaria in 2012.
That is super cool.
That's a lot of pipers.
Yeah. Well, and the fact they're using that song to break the record, pretty sweet.
All right, well, of course, we've been talking about this. If you looked at the sky last night, chances are you got a glimpse of the northern lights. These photos were sent in by our viewers of a powerful geomagnetic storm that created a stunning light show across most of North America, stretching to Kansas, Wisconsin, Colorado, and even as far south as Florida. The storm is created by coronal mass ejections from the sun's surface, charged particles that blast toward Earth at thousands of kilometers per second. And if you missed them last night, We can see them tonight, too?
Yes.
Right?
It looks like skies will be clear, and the geomagnetic storm is still happening. It won't be maybe quite as vivid as yesterday, but still you will have a chance to see it. So there you go.
And thanks to everybody who sent in all these great photos. They're awesome.
It was a very big storm, and somewhere, someone now has superpowers. It's true.
Do you know where? Like a hint?
No.
Somewhere? That's vague.
Secret identities. Come on.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
And I'm not at liberty to say who it is. It's Darcy Clayton right over there.
I wondered what was different about him today. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Anyhow, let's take a look at our numbers for tomorrow. We have time for that. Here we go. We've got ourselves -2 degrees with mainly cloudy skies at 9 a.m. By noon, it's 2 degrees. Mid-afternoon, probably around 8, and then 7 by 5. Looking good.
It does look good. All right, that is our show. Thanks for watching.
Bye now.